And these are the illusions that we're going to be talking about right now. And I believe deeply that this is the time for people who are ready to listen to this to make that transformation. So I want to now get ready for the 4 stories, and that is where we're going to use the framework that you have afterwards. These 4 stories are based on archetypes. Let's say the father on the understanding of archetypes was Carl Jung. And there has been a lot of study about that, a lot of authors that say that we are living so many stories. There is a lot, but I chose 4 because, in my opinion, these are the 4 that are the most powerful for us women. So I invite you to get into the dark wood of the psyche of the women and the dark woods of your psyche. And the first story that is ruling us is the story of I don't exist. I definitely tell you that this story was very much in my mind, and sometimes it plays still with me. When I post something online, I feel nobody will see it because I don't exist. My mother will never see me. This is linked with childhood. So nobody sees me is because my mother never saw me. The way we felt it as children is because we either had a mother that was super asphyxiating. That's what the psychologists call the devouring mother, the one that hugs you so much that it makes you feel that you don't even exist, that you cannot even breathe. That it really, she doesn't let you be the devouring mother. That's why I call it the sadist mother. And the other one is the distant mother. The distant mother is, a lot was like my mom. She was depressed. So she spent afternoons and days sleeping. And I was like, where is my mom? And my mom just doesn't see my things. And many times you have that the two features, the two, I like to call them, they are called the shadow in some books, but I like to call them the chapters of the story. So we're writing the story of the mother, but the way to get to be a mother that is nourishing, that is powerful, that is untouchable, let's say the mother version of Neo, we need to go through the chapter of being devouring, anxious, at being masochist, at being distant. And what you can see is that this also works in relationships. And telling you more about it, this is the way we behave with ourselves, either being critical and controlling. And remember, we're not talking about your mother, the physical woman with hair and feet, but about the inner mother, that they are related because the real woman was internalized and now she lives in your psyche. Uh, my mother passed, but she still lives in my psyche. So sometimes we behave as critical and controlling. So because of that, we either behave like the rebellious teenager, or we like confidence because what will mama will say is everything about judgment and feeling that I never do enough. What we do is that we do more than enough. When we are at work, this looks like overwork, and I need to do more, and I need to do more, and put more. Uh, this is why women we work so hard. That's why we get burnout because of this inner mother that is controlling us. The other one is the unavailable one, the one that is sleeping. Basically, it's like consciousness is sleeping. So what does it mean? This story is keeping us in the longing for what we don't have. This story is very much linked to the base chakra. That's why he's the mother. And when we heal this story, we unlock abundance. How do we need to heal this story? We need to do womb healing, mother wound healing. We need to connect with that child self or her psyche to help us remember that we actually exist. And it's very interesting because if you see in spiritual practices, um, if you see in spiritual practices, many spiritual practices, they tell you, go up in the scale. Up is the best. We go up to the sky, to heaven. And we forget to go down. And this is what this one is about. It's about going down, down to the womb. And that is down to the shame, down to the roots, down to the darkness. So this is just, like mind-blowing for women because we are everything about level up, success, be into the light. And it's actually the opposite what we need to. We need to go deep down into the darkness of the ancient mother. That is where our gifts are. This is where the mother is. This is where our power lies. So this is not an easy one. You need to do this in sisterhood, in community, in guidance, because that's the other thing. I was talking about the lobsters before, but you can talk about a baby in the womb or chrysalis for the butterfly. If you open the chrysalis, if you open the thing that protects the lobster before it's time, then you are ruining the process of you're ruining the process basically. So to do this process is about holding the space and having the time and the love to be there for the person, for each other. So it's not about speed. This is just exactly the opposite. So that's story number one. And I want you to take even 1 second to look at story number one of I do not exist. When are you controlling? Are you helpless? Is it your mother sleeping or is it your mother controlling you? And I'm talking about your inner mother. Just make a note for yourself. Where is where you are? Just write it down. If you want to share it, you can share it. If you don't want to share it, just write it down. Before we pass to the next story. Okay. So let's go to the next story. The next story is the one that has visited me these days. I am not lovable. I am not lovable. This one is, holy smoke, so pervasive. I tell you, I don't know, 20 years of doing inner work in all different modalities. You cannot imagine how many modalities I know, and they work. I tell you that they work. But this is part of your development. It's just like asking the lobster not to grow. I have been growing in my ability to love and be loved, but I've been feeling that I am not lovable. I've been feeling my husband doesn't love me. My children don't love me. Nobody likes me. Nobody sees my tweets and my videos, and nobody loves me. And it is nothing else but programming. So think about it. When have you fallen in the two shadows, in the two unintegrated stories of the lover? They are the seductive lover. I will bend myself backwards for you to love me. Oh, I need to lose weight for you to love me. I need to write a book for people to buy from me. I need to go to a bar to find a boyfriend. I need to do this horrible job to make money. I need to. This is the seductive is not honoring your worth, your value, and just giving it to pigs, let's say. This is the one night stand of life. So, and I'm not talking necessarily about one night stand, but also this could be represented in taking jobs that we hate. And it could be as an entrepreneur and it could be as an employee that you get the money and so sell your soul, something like that. You get it. And the frigid is the avoidant. I will not get myself into that. No, I will not fall into love. This is it's just so painful. It's the women who lack commitment, the women who are running away, the runaway bride. Is the in terms of maybe you know this theory is the attachment theory, is anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. Anxious is love me, love me, love me, love me, and avoidant, no, please, run away. And what we do as well is that we mix them and we send mixed messages, love me, but go away, love me, run away. I was that kind of person. So this lovability comes from the subject of feeling guilty. So that lives more or less in the tummy. So this is the guilt of having desires. My God, do you really want money? That's not a spiritual. Oh, you're such a bad person because you want stuff, you want desires. You must feel guilty. The moment when we heal, and how to heal this is to reconnect to your desires and to your own self-worth, that it is okay to desire something. Because this one is more or less in the tummy, is the solar plexus, is the hunger. And is the hunger, of course, for food, and is the hunger for life. And the moment when you heal this guilt, then you can love and be loved. I really love in this case the card of the lovers of the tarot, because you are both. You are the woman and you are the man. In the moment when you can, in a guilt-free way, love your courageous way of taking action, very masculine, and your soft way of letting yourself be loved, both at the same time, you being both, you are in the process of creation. So I'm not lovable. I am not lovable. How are you in that? So to rate yourself, that is a story number 2. The lovers loving. Are you feeling guilty of desiring things? Are you feeling guilty of having things? I can remember when I was making a lot of money before I was doing this kind of work. I felt so guilty of having money. I will spend it. Get rid of the money. No, 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 no. I'm a good person, so I couldn't have it in my bank account. Let's burn it. This has a lot to do with money. Because, of course, love and money are highly related. And let me tell you a little story. Uh, uh, Love and money are highly related. In my life, it was seriously related because my father made a lot of money. And I told you that they divorced. They divorced because when he made a lot of money, he found a younger, prettier woman than my mother and left her. So what got into my psyche that a lot of money destroys love. So if you make a lot of money, you will not have love. But I can tell you that this is the 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 lie. We need to integrate our ability to receive both, because this has everything to do with guilt, with worthiness. You can have it, you can have it the way you want it. And this is the thing I have been working on, particularly this week. I've been, because I feel expanding in my life, and I've been working with this one. This is what I've been working. How do I want it? How do I want it? It's not just about I can have it the way I want it, but how do I want it? Do I want the chair in this side? Now I have a tall desk. Do I have a tall desk? Or do I want to sit down? Do I have the plant here? How do I want it? So this has to do with guilt and self-worth. And absolutely, this has to do with women. I mean, you see it, so many trainings about negotiate your salary, about, things like that. But if we don't go to the root of the guilt that we feel that is ancestral, that our mother and great grandmother gave us, all the techniques of negotiation are not going to work. So let's go to the next one. So the next one is, of course, the very famous and well known, I am not good enough. Oh, dear God, oh God, oh God. I'm not good enough and perfection. I have a daughter. She is 11. Very soon she will be 12. And I think a couple of years ago, she was telling me how not good enough she is, or she was. And I was like, no, don't you see your mother works at this and you, my daughter, are telling me this is ridiculous. No, I cannot have it. And we were driving, and we were driving to some, a very green area in Amsterdam. And I just invited her to look at, look, which tree is more beautiful than the other one? Is the fat one better than the thin one? Is the bush better than the tall one? What is good enough? Everything is good enough. All is good enough. What is, we fall in love with what is. And that is insane, because of course we have to lose weight, we have to be taller, our hair needs to dry, you name it. I have wrinkles. I'm not good enough. Good enough for what? And this is where we get it wrong so deeply. This, this is related to the queen. And you remember when I asked you why we're here, is because we want to be our own authority. We want to be our own authority. And however, what we do is God, we try to be a man. So we become tyrants. This is the method that we have to follow. Then we have to do it like that, linear. This is how the masculine is beautiful, but that's not how the feminine is. We become very controlling. And the other one is that we become weak. No, I cannot do it. I cannot decide. I wait until my husband comes. You cannot imagine how many times I have women in coaching sales conversations that they will say, I just wait until my husband, what he tells me. Really, really weak. And this one, I even translated it into entrepreneurship, because I know some of you are entrepreneurs. Some of the female entrepreneurs are going to like, I will just be successful, have 7 figures, because of course that's the only thing that matters. Not if I am of service, if I make money, or give it a lot all the way for free because I'm such goody two shoes that I'm not going to charge you anything. So these are the two extremes. I'm not good enough. So it is from controlling to helplessness, and something in between. So what do we need to do? Is to heal our ability to communicate what is our truth. And that is our crown for the women. Our ability to say what we mean, no matter what they are going to say. It's our ability to set boundaries, to say no, to say yes, to say now. And this ability is what will bring us from self-doubt into your own leadership, being your own queen, being grounded in your own, royal nature. So now I invite you again to write in your in this story, where you are at. Are you in helplessness? Are you in controlling? When are you triggered to be more helpless? When are you triggered to be more controlling? I can tell you this one off. Being controlling. This was my thing. I tell you how it used to show up. Uh, one of the most horrible moments that I remember how it showed up was that I went on holiday. We went to Italy with my boyfriend, and I made a plan. And we needed to go here. On Monday, we had these 10 things to do. On Tuesday, we had these 10 things to do. And there was no time to breathe. There was no time to enjoy. I was just such a tyrant. At the end of my holiday there, I was exhausted. Did I enjoy anything? Not at all. And it can be present in your leisure, in business. In fact, it works like fractals. It works everywhere in your life. And the beautiful thing of that it works in fractals is that as you heal one thing, you heal everything else. So self-doubt into sovereignty. Are you ready to listen to the big one? This one is quite something. The number 4 is maybe the one that initiated this course. Recently, if you hear me, Karina, you are the inspiration of this training. A friend of mine came to visit me, and very shy, she told me at the kitchen table, I have been having thoughts that I am bad, but you cannot imagine how pervasive these thoughts are, Blanca. I am bad. I'm a bad mother. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad citizen. I'm a bad daughter. I'm a bad wife. I'm not just not good enough that I cannot do my work well, but I'm an evil person. I'm scared of myself, of how bad I am. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is so profound, and this is so true for so many of us, but we don't dare to say that. No, we don't even dare to admit it to ourselves. This is the most scary. This is the most scary eye of the dragon, because to admit to ourselves that we have a nature of being malefica, to being the witch, that's bad. No, 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 no. I'm the Virgin Mary. I mean, me a witch? No, I'm goody two shoes. No, I'll never criticize other women. No, I never backstab or gossip. I'm a good person. But inside of us, there is something that is really, really bad. And this really bad, it can indeed come to destroy our life if it is untamed. But it can create wonderful things if you actually make friends with it. The tale that I really invite you to revisit is the tale of Sleeping Beauty. So there were 13 witches, as they are all 13, because 13 is the sacred number of the feminine, because there are 13 cycles of the moon going around the sun in a year. So they played 12 plates because, of course, 12 is the number of the masculine, and one was not there, which is this witch. So to celebrate that girl. And that girl was celebrated with gifts like beauty and grace and things like that. But the 13th witch, she was so angry that she was not invited, and she showed up. And she gifted her. What did she gift her? Death. You remember how I started this training? We started with the idea that now we are in a moment that we need to renew, and actually we need to kill. Why is it good to kill? Because we need to kill our guilt, our shame, our not setting boundaries, our inability to not say no, our inability to be sovereign. And for that, we need to integrate our badness. And of course, this is the most difficult to integrate because if we are living in a world of black and white, if you can just be good or bad. And if you are bad, I don't want to talk to you. And this is the difficulty of this work. So when you integrate the badness, you become wise. What are the two elements that create wisdom? One is the witch, and the witch is the manipulator. I'm going to follow this strategy to tell you that you should be my boyfriend. Or these women that manipulate men, these women that manipulate other women, these women, you know them. Of course, we all have been there, even if we deny it. And the fool that, oh, I cannot do it. I am so sweet that I have no any power. That is the badness in the two directions. And both of them, you know that they are not true. They are the just a small version of how wise we could become. So here you have more information when you are just too much into the head, because this one of the wisdom is here, is in the head, is in your third eye, in your crown, everything that goes to divine. But the thing is that our society is very much here, is very young. And these are, the places where we used to be. I used to be an engineer. So how do you make money by becoming an engineer? How do you have success by having a work and knowing mathematics? And with that, we struggle with empathy, we struggle with softness, we struggle with intuition. And the other side is that we are full. We're full, and that we think that we have nothing. So I want you to imagine yourself who you could be as an integrated wise woman. Who could you be? Just, even close your eyes and think of yourself 20 years older, with your white hair, with the calmness of saying no, with the calmness of saying what you really want, to owning your desires, to owning your lovability, to owning your ideas. And take time to listen to her, because quite likely she's going to give you an advice. So write down that advice. Very excited. So this is to write that advice, because you got information. If you feel inspired, write it in the chat, because I think your advice is for everybody. I got something as well. So, what do we have? Ooh, I like it. I really like it. So, I'm going to start reading as somebody else is writing. Just if you haven't got a message, feel what your older self needs to tell you and to tell all of us. Because the message that you're getting is for you, for all the women in this call, and for all the women that are going to listen to the recording. Because it's really a historical moment that we're living, and your intuition is really helpful for others. Okay, so I start reading, and we have a speak up, speak your truth, unlock your sovereignty. Time to take up the space needed. I love it. Take up space. Unafraid of other people's opinions. Absolutely. Relax and enjoy. This is so important. Relax and enjoy. I want to stop with this one a little bit because um, this is what reality right now is asking us to do, to do. I was listening to some bodybuilders. I like bodybuilding. I do bodybuilding on Fridays, and one of these bodybuilders say, I was asked what to do to relax. A man, huh? A man. And he says, no, you shouldn't do anything to relax. So this enjoy and relax. If we want to embody the transformation of to bring the spiritual feminine out, we need to learn to be in silence. We need to learn to sleep. We need to learn to not do and receive. We need to learn to hold the space. And this is totally against what we have been taught for a long time. So I think your older self is really wise. Relax and enjoy. It is all inside of me already. Yes, 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 yes. It is just like, I think it's Michelangelo who said it, that the subject is that we are perfect. So the sculpture is perfect. You have a piece of marble, that's you. And you are the sculpture, and you're just going to get rid of the things that have been put on you. This is the work to do cleaning, the things that are not you out. Listen to our intuition. Yeah, you bet. You bet. Listen to ourselves. Really excited for this advice because we needed to hear that. So somebody told me in the survey, I want practical tools, and I'm very happy to tell you that I have practical tools, and the practical tools are